I am Shannon Vogt. I am an actor and the founding artistic director of The Void, a theater company that focuses on illuminating the underserved voices of women and queer artists in Charleston through theater. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but when you're an actor talking to a non-actor about your career, two things seem to happen. One, they tell you about their experience seeing a show on Broadway and how amazing it was, and it's almost always a childhood experience of seeing Phantom, the Wicked, or The Lion King. Two, they immediately make you qualify yourself. Where have I seen you? Where have I heard you? Which, probably really well-intentioned, these questions used to make me squirm because I felt a pressure to prove what my career path was. I went to College of Charleston for psychology, and then in 2017, I moved to Chicago to get a second bachelor's in theater. I had always loved studying relationships and the fallibility of the human mind, and the blending of psychology and theater has always excited me and informed my work. But during my time in Chicago, I discovered several things that shifted my career. The first was that although I loved theater as an art form, I was very disillusioned with the industry. When I was in theater school, the professors had drilled into us that if we couldn't muster the stamina to keep going in the industry, it's because we didn't love theater enough. If we quit, it was because we didn't have the grit. We weren't hungry enough. And then the pandemic happened. Of my graduating class, I can tell you who kept going, and they did not have student loans. Red flag. Then, of course, the second red flag came when I was in an audition, and the casting director asked me how many followers I had on Instagram. This was apparently a pretty common way of weeding people out who didn't already have a following, but it gave me the creeps. I mean, I get it, but it made me feel really icky. The second thing I discovered, which was the most fun, was that I was losing a 10-year battle with substance abuse. It was then that I hit my last of several rock bottoms and decided it was time to check myself in for treatment. To get and stay sober, I needed to completely reframe what my goals were. And to do that, I had to get in touch with what my values were. So I did, and I have not had a drink in 871 days. Woo, I did not think that was gonna get me. So let me tell you about how I was bamboozled and how this one trick completely reshaped my perception. Early on in recovery, someone told me to make a list of the top 10 things I wanted to find in a romantic partner. Fun. She told me, okay, I tricked you. This is you. This has nothing to do with finding a romantic partner. These are your values. This is who you are. My values list has been a North Star for me. I know it sounds like a little woo-woo, but the process of outlining what truly mattered to me was the most integral part of me climbing out of my addiction and stepping into living authentically. During the day, I sell my voice on the internet, and at night, I get to work on plays with incredible people. I don't give a shit about my Instagram following, and I don't care if anyone recognizes my voices from commercials. I work on contemporary plays with other queer artists, and I create things that matter to me. Alongside my friends, Teresa Elge, Brianna Morgan, and AP Hart, I outline the vision for the Void Theater Company. We aim to be an additional space in the Charleston theater community that focuses on folks from across and beyond the spectrum of gender and sexuality. All of us were pursuing careers in theater, from acting, designing, managing, and producing. And although my career plans had shifted, I couldn't give it up. So we all got together over cats and coffee and talked about what our dream space would look like. The kind of work we wanted to produce, the kind of people we wanted to work with, and what our values were. Our team is made up of 3 women and 1 non-binary person, and we all fell somewhere on the LGBTQ+ spectrum. I had gone to Columbia College Chicago with Teresa Elge, and when I moved back to Charleston, I ran into her performing at the Footlight Players. She was on stage absolutely crushing her role as Judy Denmark in Ruthless. I called her a few days later, and I said, so I have this crazy idea, and I think you're the person that I should do this with, and she was immediately on board. I knew she was fantastic to work with from our time in school, but later I found out that she had to learn that role in 5 days because another actor dropped out, so then I knew that she also had the work ethic. We wanted to see more representation for trans and gender nonconforming actors. We also wanted to tell our own stories as queer folks, without that story being solely based on our trauma. I also had this underlying feeling that there had to be people out there that wanted this too. Teresa brought on her partner, AP Hart, whose directing gives me chills and can build literally anything. And Brianna I met at a party. Aside from her being the world's greatest stage manager, she is also truly kind, eager, and a creative person. I didn't really need to think too long about who we would hire first to direct because it was Mari Sorsa from the beginning. And when she said yes, I was thrilled. In 2023, we are doing a series of 3 pop-up plays, which will be in various locations downtown. We start at the Queen Street Playhouse, and then we will be at Head High Studio, and then finally we'll be at Lance Hall. In our first few months, we accomplished some of our goals, which was to hire a local playwright and to secure our first grants. But the thing that I'm the most proud of was our open audition call, where I met some of the most amazing humans, and I thought, oh my God, we found each other. Our first play, Succulents, The Art of Adulting by Leah Roth-Barsanti, runs February 3, 4, and 5 at the Queen Street Playhouse. If anything in my speech tonight resonated with you, so will this play. It is a show about being lost and found, discovering what matters, and learning to listen. It also gets a little freaky and immersive, so please come join us. Thank you to Terry Fox. I smile every time I see you. And thank you to Charles, not just for helping me with this speech, but for helping me every day. Thank you.